Hello everybody, and happy hot Sunday evening to you all. I'm Front Row Racing DP, and joining me in the commentary box is Front Row Racing JS, and we're both horribly sweaty and smelly today, or at least I know I am, via sweating and excess gases from my Sunday dinners today. What about you, James?
Well, I like how you've brought me straight in with them sweaty. Not too sweaty. I'm pretty chilled out. I'm ready for this lovely Silverstone Grand Prix, and a lot of the drivers have been moaning that they don't like the circuit, but it's pretty tough because I do, and that's why I chose it.
I don't know, it's so cruel. And obviously you must have the air-conditioned side of the commentary box, because I'm weltering away like the Wicked Witch of the West here.
Get your top off.
No, that'd be worse. I've got a leather chair. Okay, we are online for the Front Row Racing ProjectCARS DTM Season 6, Round 6 from Silverstone. We'll be sending the drivers over to the racetrack fairly soon. We'll also give a shout out to the current points standings, and just a reminder as well that the season is only 8 races long, so the drivers have got a lot of work to do. Thinking about it, actually, James, something we may have to have a look at during this warm-up session, as I trash my place, is if perhaps Dave the Harp is able to wrap up the title today. It's not something I've had a look at. I've not really looked into the points that much at the moment.
Yeah, with 40 points being on offer for both a win in both the sprint and feature race, that's 40 points. I believe the gap is currently hanging around 30 points, and there's still 3 races to go. So I think he won't be able to wrap it up just yet.
Okay, well, I'll quickly run through the championship standings while we finish off sending any invites out that may need to be sent, or you send it over to the track when you're ready. So I'll have a quick run through the championship standings. Dave the Harp is leading the way on 150 points, while Jason is in second place on 122. GBM Oldman is in third on 113, and he's followed by IL Tell, who is now a permanent driver, on 98 points. 1 point behind him is Scott McFall on 97, while Kulukutu is on 82. Dex is on 71, however Dex is unavailable tonight. GT Gavin is behind him on 52 points. He too is not available tonight. So that gives Stig v Rob a fantastic opportunity of gaining a position. He's on 47 points. Behind him is GBM Vector on 43, while Adam 4600 has 35 points. M1989 Woolhouse is on 26, but he's unavailable tonight by the looks of things. And then we've got Mulryan on 11, Dre on 11, Ardington on 5, RDJ on 4, and Nightwalker on 2. Okay, so we are at the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, and James, just wondered if you want to give a quick run through the format for this evening.
Yep, so the format is a sprint race today. We're going to start out with a 5-minute qualifying session, which is just to make sure that all the drivers are in front of the commentary team. Then we're going to jump straight into a very, very short 3-lap sprint race. The tyres will be set to realistic tyre wear, and the fuel will also be set to real as always. So the drivers will be able to punish their tyres and their car as much as possible, try and get as many points as possible. Maximum amount of points in the sprint race is 15. Then at the end of the sprint race, the top 3 finishers from the sprint race are not allowed to qualify for the full-on feature race, where there's a maximum of 25 points available for P1. So then we will jump to a full-on 10-minute qualifying session here at Silverstone for the feature race, a 5-minute warm-up just to make sure all the drivers have got all their settings hunky-dory before the feature race. And then, just as I remember, I'll double-check, 15 laps will be the length of the feature race.
Yeah, I mean, Silverstone Grand Prix circuit is a long track, which is why the number of laps for the sprint race is so short, and same for the feature race. Hopefully, if some of the new guys that are in tonight, if they get onto the podium in the sprint race, hopefully they're aware that they won't be able to qualify for the feature race. One of those being Dover 440, who has shown what he's capable of doing on the Friday night events, which is kind of a talent spotting event for the DTM league on the Sundays, and Castle A1 did recommend Dover 440 as a reserve for tonight. So, James, looking at the reserve drivers that come in, the likes of ILTEL, who's come in and done very well, but also RDJ, who's in tonight, and Dover 440. What is it you're looking for from those guys when they come in to take a reserve drive?
Well, what I'm looking for is for the drivers that are reserving to be straight on the pace straight away. I'm also looking for very, very clean wheel-to-wheel racing, which is the reason why they've got the shot at being in the full-on DTM Championship. So, for me, the pace is not fully important straight out of the box, but we are expecting high things, as we've seen. They've got a fair chunk of pace in them Porsches on a Friday night, so if they've got as much pace as they've got in them Porsches, I expect them to be hassling the front runners such as David Harp.
Yeah, quite possibly. I'm just having a look at Kulakutu at the moment because he's got 3 cars around him and they're all going to set pretty much the same lap time. But just a reminder to the viewers that this is just a warm-up session that is hosted in a qualifying session, and as James said, it is simply to make sure that the broadcast team start at the back of the grid. So even though it is technically a qualifying session, it's not really. If drivers get a lap time in, all the bonus to them, but if it means that they end up on the podium at the end of the sprint race, then they can't qualify for the feature race. So yeah, there we go on that one. Do you want to give a quick shout out as well to Dexy Drum? His quick comment on YouTube. James, he says, good evening from Amsterdam, lads. Great to see Dover in there. Personally, I'm surprised. If he's in Amsterdam, I'm surprised he's been able to A, open up his phone to put YouTube on, and B, is able to write a message. Either that or he's not doing things right in Amsterdam at the moment.
Well, yeah, exactly. I'm surprised them windows can be a bit distracting over there.
Well, what windows? I don't know what you mean, James. I'm a complete angel.
The fact that you've just said that means you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Never frequented myself, but there we go. Okay, Kulakutu's popped himself in a lap time, put himself third and just been bummed down to fourth. So Dave the Harp, unsurprisingly, quickest at the moment with a 1:54. Now, I've not had a chance to look at the community, the PlayStation Network community, James, recently.
Yep.
But I do know a few days ago, quite a few of the drivers have sort of been posting the lap times they've been able to do. And I know the likes of, I think it was LTEL, maybe even RDJ, and I know Dex likes to do it as well, sort of posting their lap times, and I think they do it to kind of find out whether Dave the Harp is going to go, well, here you go guys, this is what I'm doing. So I don't know if Dave actually posted a lap time or whether the lap time he's done is relevant or not. I don't know whether you'd be able to perhaps update us on that one.
Well, I can tell you that David Harp did set a lap time and he uploaded it and it was a 1:53.7, so he's got plenty of time in the bag.
Oh, interesting as well. Most drivers did manage to get a lap in, and Adam 4600 is going to be starting on the second row of the grid, but we're about to get going for the sprint race. These sessions go so quick, James, don't they? Maybe we should do this on a different day of the week, because Sunday is meant to be relaxed day. But anyway, the race is about to get going. We'll get on board with the leaders as soon as we can, and that's exactly what I'm going to try and do as they all head down towards turn 1 here at Silverstone. Adam 4600 trying to have a look at the inside of Dave the Harp, not quite able to do it though, and I think that's Jason being pushed out wide a little bit.
Yeah, Oldman's got a nice little run. He's looking at going around the outside of Adam into turn 3.
Oh, it's very busy behind Jason. Yep. He's getting spun. I'm focusing on him for 2 reasons. 1, he's second in the standings, and 2, his car sticks out like a sore banana, man.
GBM Vectra may have a run here as Oldman and Adam are getting slap bang wallop, but Adam's covering him off.
Vectra still trying to fight it on the inside though. 3 wide, they're going to go into Brooklands, and just behind the 3 wide as well. Oh, a little bit of contact, a bit of a pit manoeuvre, not a lot they could do about that. Ooh. And it's all getting busy behind them now.
ILTEL getting in on this, is up to P4 just in front of Adam now, and he's having a look, but I think Vectra was the biggest winner there.
I think Adam was the biggest loser because he ended up with a power boost penalty, I believe, and they're still trying to go 3 wide in the background here. Scott McFall, Jason's in there as well. I think Kulakutu take out Ray Markable. It's a big hit into the wall.
Scott's in the wall, yeah. So Jason now down to P10 as Dover's just took him round the outside. This is really intense.
It is now. Obviously, Dover's going to be someone we are going to want to try and keep an eye on, but with the race being only 3 laps long, this sprint race, it's going to be over before we know it, so we may not be able to get a full view of how a driver does. But for GBM Vectra, Dave the Harp and GBM Oldman, it's all going perfectly at the moment.
Yeah, and just to let the viewers know, points only go up to P10 in the sprint race, so Jason, he needs to be picking off a few of these if he wants to get up into the championship fight.
Right at the back as well, we've got a battle side by side. Dre and Nightwalker, I think it might be, as they go side by side around Stowe. They're still side by side as people are taking more brake marker boards out. Oh, sorry, it was Scott McFall that Dre was battling with.
Kulukutu's just made a right move up the inside of Stig, and he's all out of shape, and now Jason's on the back of him. He's gone round the outside. What a move!
I didn't quite see it, unfortunately. Dover 440, I think, is now... Who is Dover 440 on the back of?
Yeah,
is that Kulukutu? Okay.
Yeah.
So as they're heading towards turn 3...
Just to let you know, up at the front, Vectra is under pressure from his good friend GBM Oldman with a brand new wheel.
Brand new wheel? Where's he got a brand new wheel from?
Last week his Thrustmaster T300 packed up on him. He's gone and got himself a Logitech, and it looks like he's got the pace straight out of the box with that new wheel.
Well, I mean, here's a question for you, James. I mean, I believe you're a wheel user, and there's always arguments between pads and wheels, but what are the benefits of having a wheel, or perhaps the benefits of having a new wheel compared to a wheel that's not working properly?
Well, a wheel that's not working properly, you might as well throw it in the bin, because there's nothing worse than turning into a corner thinking that the car's going to do one thing and it does something else. That is not what a driver needs. However, a wheel user, one of the good things about having a wheel is, especially on Project Cars, if you get a snap of oversteer or a snap of understeer, you can correct it and overcorrect it. Whereas if you've got a pad and you turn in, you get understeer, you're just going to keep on understeering. So Oldman looks like he's putting that new wheel to use as he's slipstreaming Vectra. He's looking at a cheeky look up the inside, almost takes out the brake marker board, takes out the 100 marker board, and yeah, they're both going wide there.
I know I said it's a bit hot and sweaty in the commentary box here tonight, but we don't really need the drivers creating fake snow. It doesn't have the cooling factor as snow actually has. Ooh. Oh, Oldman goes a little bit deep into the club corners, and who is that that's right on his gearbox?
Eltel.
I mean, Eltel had a fantastic race last time out. You might have to remind me what track we were at again, James. The sun has got to me today, and I've barely been outside. But yeah, Eltel taking his first win last time out, showing exactly why he deserves a full-time seat in the DTMs.
Yeah, exactly. It just shows you that the consistency is key. People have been fast in the other two races. It's all getting very close now for P2, 3 and 4. But it's really, the consistency is key in the feature race. Yeah,
it looked like GBM Vectra had a little bit of a messy exit. Go on.
The back, Dover and Kulukutu side by side, running down towards turn 6, I believe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Kulukutu we know is a quick driver. On his day, yeah, he's ridiculously quick as he's trying to give Dover a little bit of room on the inside of Woodcote, and he's still ahead, and yeah, Kulukutu's straight line speed usually tends to be very, very good. Oh, something's happened between Adam 4600 and Eltel perhaps, or Eltel and the cars ahead of him, because Eltel is now down into 5th place, and there's a bit of a gap between 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, the battle for the podium place for P2 is on between Oldman. I think Vectra's got out of shape in Maggots and Beckett's.
There's a problem though, James.
We're on the last lap.
Exactly. So it looks like Dave the Harp is about to go on and take the victory. However, 2nd place and 3rd place, they're side by side, heading up towards Stowe Corner. Is he going to be able to make...
Dave's around the final corner.
Okay, is he going to be able to... He made the move all the way around the outside. What an overtake by GBM Oldman. I think he's going to be attacked back.
Dave's in the final corner now.
Okay, so Dave the Harp then is going to go on to take the victory. GBM Oldman looks like he's stolen 2nd place on the final lap, or has he? Because GBM Vectra's trying to fight it back. No, it is 2nd. He's got a power boost penalty. He's got a power boost penalty. Is he going to lose 3rd place? Yes, he does. Adam 4600 steals 4th. Eltel 5th. RDJ 6th. Kulukutu 7th. Dover 440. Stig v Rob side by side with Scott McFall, 9th and 10th, Jason 11th, Nightwalker comes home in 12th place, and Dre unfortunately down at the back in 13th place, but oh my god, what a final lap of the race. Actually saying, was it a power boost penalty? Was it a power boost penalty, or...
I don't know.
Or has GBM Vectra just done something really, really sneaky?
He could have. Because he knows that last time out, Dave the Harp had a real struggle coming his way through the field at Laguna Seca. So could he think, well, everybody's getting quicker and quicker, it might be harder and harder to come from the back?
It might be. It might well be. I mean, I mean, some people might question that tactic, and see the comments on YouTube from K-Slave. What is Vectra slowed down there, I reckon. I'm thinking so as well. I'm trying to sort of play it back in my mind. It didn't look like he cut a corner or anything. He just seemed to be slow. So I'm wondering if that was a tactical decision. And I mean, it's a topic for discussion, and some people might not like it. There's no rule against it. At the end of the day, he's given up a position and dropped points. But it is to benefit himself in the next event, which is the feature race, for which we'll have a new lobby set up for in a few moments' time. But as always, James, the sprint race goes quicker than the wind through hemp underwear. So yeah, it is surprising how quickly those sprint races go. I mean, it gets us every week, doesn't it? We really get into it, and then it's hang on a minute, it's the last lap. But, I mean, what do you take from that? Dave the Harp, another victory, dominant victory, opened up a gap.
Well, for me, I just think people need to stop playing games and take the points. Take the points and then beat him in the feature race.
Yeah.
That's the only way they're going to win a title. They're not going to win a title by giving up positions, if that's what people are doing.
Yeah.
And... take the points while they're on offer. Do not give up points, because at the end of the day, there's a reason why Dave the Harp, even when he finishes fourth, comes away with the most points every week. It's because he's getting the points he can get. He isn't thinking about silly little mind games or all like that.
Yeah.
Maybe midweek when he's posting times, but apart from that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You let me know when you send me an invite, James.
Yeah.
I mean, from what we've seen from Dave the Harp this season, and also what we saw from K-Slay last season, was they're finishing as high up as they can in the sprint race and taking as many points as they can. And if it means they start at the back, no problem, because potentially they're quick enough to work their way through and still get up and possibly win the race. And we've seen it quite a few times. So I think if I was GBM Vectra there, I mean, okay, if it was Monaco, I could understand that one, but it's not. It's Silverstone. You can overtake here, so yeah, I'd take the good old points there, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly, because you never know what's going to happen in a feature race. If you back off on points in the sprint race in order to qualify for the feature race, if you get taken out at turn one, forget it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm just having, just to let you know, I'm just having problems creating a new multiplayer session. So as soon as I've got it up, I'll be...
Well, you can get little blue pills for that, you know, James.
Problem getting up these days.
But anyway, yeah. So I don't know what it is. But you said to me before we came live, so what is with you today? I don't know. I don't know whether it's the weather. I don't know if it's the food. I don't know if it's a lack of sleep.
You've got sunstroke, I bet.
I've hardly been outside though. Like I say, well, the sun's been beaming through the window directly onto the chair where I sit.
I said that the other day. I went on my lunch break, went for a walk around woods, you know, chilling out. And
that sounds really dodgy.
Yeah. But yeah, went for a walk, didn't even think about it, and then I got home, and then Vicky was like, "Bloody hell, look at that! Look at the glasses mark around your face." I'm like, "I'm only out there for like 45 minutes," but that's what I mean. It can hit you, and you don't even know it's hitting you.
Oh yeah, I think probably one of the worst cases I had was falling asleep in a car. Not while I was driving, obviously, but falling asleep in a car while we're on like a 100-mile journey on the motorway. I woke up with one side of my face bright red and the other side of my face untouched. Heat stroke, dehydrated, and sunburnt to a crisp on the left side of my face because it had beamed through the window. So yeah, you want to be careful doing that.
An invite's been sent.
Okay. The joys of travel on the motorway as a passenger. I must admit, after that, well, yeah, probably sort of around that kind of time where I was like, right, okay, tinted windows for me, thank you very much. But yeah. Okay.
Once I went on a lovely holiday, sort of just keep on the heat stroke motif as we've got going. Once went on a holiday to Gran Canaria, and I got it. And what I was chucking up looked brighter than Lewis Hamilton's helmet.
Yeah, it's not fun. It is no fun at all. When I was a kid, I used to suffer from it quite badly. Okay, just to let the viewers know, it's going to be a few minutes while we get the drivers back into the lobby, with it being a new lobby set up, and we'll get the drivers ready for the feature race. It'll be a 10-minute qualifying session where the top three from the sprint race will not be able to set a time. So we'll have a 10-minute qualifying session to see who is the best of the rest, and then we'll have a 5-minute warm-up and then a 15-lap feature race around the circuit. And then at the end of the race, we will have podium interviews with the top three drivers from the feature race.
So the reason for jumping into a new lobby is just so that we can change the tyre wear usage, as we want drivers to be able to do a pit stop in order to change a bit of strategy, as we found out last week at Laguna Seca. Strategy was the call of the day. Going for a one-stop was the ultimate strategy. However, take it another lap, I don't think it would have been the ultimate strategy.
I was about to say that. It was really, really touch and go. I'm just going to send you an invite as well, James, so the viewers may not be able to hear you for a moment. It really was touch and go for Eltel. And I don't know, I liked what Eltel did. I really did. I really do. But at the same time, he robbed a win off Jason, so I don't like him anymore. I'm joking. It was a real difficult decision for him to make, and like you said, if it had gone on for one more lap, I don't think he'd have been able to keep the car on the road. I just want to take this time to mention as well to the viewers that we are still advertising for admins for the Front Row Racing ProjectCARS side of things. Obviously, Front Row Racing does have an F1, quite an extensive F1 side of the leagues, and obviously the ProjectCARS side as well. We are still advertising and still looking for people that are interested in becoming admins, whether that be hosting the lobbies, commentating, broadcasting, doing points, doing pictures, doing the marketing side, sort of any and all aspects really. So if people are interested in getting involved on the admin side of things, then feel free to contact Front Row Racing JS either through the Front Row Racing ProjectCARS community on PlayStation Network, or directly to James on PlayStation Network. You get loads of messages now, James, sorry for that. Or you can send a message to the Front Row Racing Facebook page, because admins are going to be needed if the Front Row Racing ProjectCARS side of the league is to continue beyond this season. I mean, if it means that with new admins it gets to a point where the races can take place, but unfortunately there isn't anyone to broadcast them, then that's still potentially a possibility. But obviously I know personally, if I was racing, I'd like to be able to watch back a broadcast of it, and obviously I know that myself and you, James, well, I don't know, I've been broadcasting 2-3 years now, something like that. I'm not quite had a phone call from Sky F1 yet, offering me a job, but I can't imagine that that's going to come.
Well, we can hope.
We can hope. The thing is, I don't know if Sky F1 would like it when the crash happens and all they can hear is me and you go, oh! Okay, just to let everybody know as well, I haven't got a question of the day for today, unfortunately. Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Well, come on then, James, give us a question of the day. Even I won't know the answer. Well, I might know the answer, but come on, fire away, young man.
Have you watched the F1 today?
Yes.
What was the name of the little crying boy in the Ferrari outfit?
Oh, don't.
If you know, put your comment in the YouTube comments.
Yes. Yeah, if you know what the little boys know, I did like that. I mean, whether it was a touch from Ferrari PR or whether Kimi Raikkonen saw it and thought, you know what, I want to make that little boy's day. Whatever it was a really nice touch. The problem is that there's going to be loads of people crying now to try and see Kimi Raikkonen. I know Crofty said it in the commentary box. He says that's really beautiful. It's almost brought me to tears. Does that mean I get to meet him now?
But also, it's going to end up being like a Michael Jackson concert, where people start fainting and stuff in order to meet Michael. Yeah. That's going to be, there's Sebastian, I fainted at turn 1.
I think for me it'd have to be right. You need to have a broken bone. But having said that, not just in British history, in human history, right, and I know this happened in America, obviously there's been insurance fraud since insurance was ever invented, and ways of getting out of being drafted into wars and stuff like that, which, don't get me wrong, I think drafts to wars were wrong and shouldn't happen personally, but not in our time. But anyway, people would go to extremes of shooting off their own feet, their legs, their hands. They would go to extremes to avoid or come to benefits. People can be that crazy.
That could almost be a comedy. Somebody who shoots himself and kills himself in order to get out of... accidentally kills himself in order to get out of being drafted.
Yeah. Yes. But anyway, okay, focus. That went very deep very quickly, that did, didn't it? Typical Sunday afternoon conversation. However, we have got GBM Vectra out on track, and I'm on board. Well, I've got the cameras on him at the moment, because obviously GBM Vectra finished 4th in the sprint race. He was in 3rd place, so is he looking to go and take pole position here? Maybe. But James, I just wonder if you'd like to take us through a lap in the DTMs around the Silverstone circuit.
Apologies, are we on board with ILTEL?
No, GBM Vectra. Yeah, so turn 1...
Yeah, it is Sunday.
It is. Turn 1 and 2 should be absolutely flat out in these cars, shouldn't they? DRS would be close for them, though.
Yeah, he seems to have backed out of this, so I'm not too sure if it's full-on flying lap, but it seems very tentative. Let's see how he gets on around the rest of the circuit, though, but that just seemed very, very cautious through them couple of corners there.
Well, I mean, Silverstone's one of those circuits, isn't it? The newer section of the track, very high speed, turn 1 and 2, and then very slow speed, awkward turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, so he's currently running through Luffield, trying to get hard on the power. DRS wide open, as DRS is open to anybody to use at any time, so it's basically who's got the biggest kahunas and who's going to press the DRS button first in order to get an extra few tenths in the pocket. He's run a touch wide though there through Copse, and now he's heading towards the infamous Maggots and Beckett's complex. Just seeing how he copes, change of direction's not too bad, but he's run a bit wide there, and that's just giving him epic understeer through turn 13 and 14, and that's just time you can't afford to lose as he's now bombing down the hanger straight. Yeah, that little moment of understeer on one of them, it stopped him from getting on the power and being flat out on the exit. Yeah, so now running through Stone down towards Vale. All about slamming on the brakes. Can he get it turned in? It's looking a little bit shabby this lap. Well, it could still be quick though. We'll find out. Interestingly as well, the last the last chicane and the last couple of corners as Vectra does go pole, but nobody else has set a lap time yet. Jason's on the lap. A little bit like at Laguna Seca, James, where I was talking about turn 1 and 2, how there's sort of a couple of different ways to take that corner. Double apex it or late apex it. And the last couple of corners, it's similar here as well, isn't it? You're heavy on the brakes, get it slowed down for the left and the right. But if you're on the power between the corners, you've got a lift on the right-hander. If you're that little bit more patient, you can power all the way through the right-hander and carry that speed all the way through. I'm on board with Jason. We'll see how he's going to take it.
taking a very tight entry into the left-hander, bit of power, there was the lift, and now he's feeding the throttle back on.
Yeah, it's all about where do you want to be quickest, and to me, if it's the corner before long straight, you want to make sure that you're powering as much power onto that straight, even if it's just a tiny straight. Every 10th counts.
Yeah, it does, especially on a circuit as big as this. I mean, something that we've noticed over the course of all of the seasons in Project Cars is the shorter the track, the smaller the gaps between the lap times of the drivers, the longer the track, the bigger the gap. So on a circuit like this, that 1/10 of a second can all of a sudden, throughout the course of a lap, grow into 4-5 of a second.
Yeah. Just currently watching Vectra. I'm not too sure what he's doing up on the national pit straight.
I think he's on a slow lap at the moment, whether it's an out lap or, well, it wouldn't be an in lap, but I think he's on a slow lap at the moment, because I saw him sort of pull over and let a couple of cars go through. I'm just watching RDJ. He's just gone through Maggotts and Beckett's at the moment, and with Silverstone being a long track, surprisingly, we're 6 minutes into the qualifying session, and there's not been a hell of a lot of lap time set yet. This is probably one of those circuits where the drivers really sort of perhaps need to just get out there and pump in lap after lap after lap and hope that the fastest lap perhaps comes on lap 2 or 3, rather than sort of limit themselves, because they may be able to do sort of 3 or 4 laps, whereas if they're constantly back into the pit lane, they could limit the amount of laps they're going to be able to do. But RDJ crosses the line. Where's he going to go? He's just starting a fly lap. He was on an out lap. So apologies for that.
So yeah, bombing through turn 1 then. He seemed to have a little bit more grip than a lot of the other cars through turn 1. Very tentative again now, coming through the village and the loop. It just seems very cautious, and you've got to be a little bit more commanding of knowing exactly where you're going to pivot your car and make a tight apex to then get on the power for this Wellington straight. With a little bit of half dabbing the throttle here and there, it's not as precise and quick as just turning the car, pointing and squirting.
I only heard the last part of that sentence, so I'm not even going to...
you filthy boy.
Yeah, we'll move on. Interestingly as well, though, I mean, Brooklands and Woodcote, they're two very interesting. You can lose so much time through there. And that's the nature of this track, isn't it? You make one mistake and you lose so much time.
Yeah. Each corner feeds into the next, a little bit like Suzuka. Every single apex you've got to be spot on with, as RDJ is now bombing through Maggotts and Beckett's, and he gets a little bit out of shape, getting the front end turned in, and it's just about hanging on there. But I don't think this is extremely quick at the moment.
I tell you what, I think that little twitch helped him out though, because it sort of pointed the front end of the car into the next corner, which opened up the final part of Maggotts and Beckett's there and allowed him to be on throttle all the way through it. Whereas when was on board with GBM Vectra earlier, he was lifting because of the understeer. I'd agree with you. I don't think this is going to perhaps struggle or challenge the front 2 rows, but we'll see where RDJ is going to position himself, and we'll have to find out who else is on a lap and have a quick look at the timing screen. But RDJ is about to cross the line, and it's an 8th place for him. So
Jason's currently on pole with a 1:55.2. He's just heading through Maggotts and Beckett's. I'm wondering if he can try and improve on his lap time.
He was on the power a hell of a lot later than RDJ there, but I think he was able to carry the speed as he's been bumped down to 2nd place.
Oh yeah. Vectra and Scott McFall's just coming over the line. Is he going to improve? Let's see. Yes, he takes pole. Scott McFall on pole with a 1:54.6. What a lap there from Scott.
And Jason bombs into the pit, so unfortunately we didn't get to see Scott McFlurry as he was named last week. Dover, he's got himself in 5th place at the moment. He's not going to be able to improve on the lap he's on at the moment, and everybody else is in the pits. No, Dre.
I think Dre is the only one still out on circuit. It's not looking super fast, but he may improve on P13.
Dre did let me know that he's running the setup he was using at Laguna Seca, and with which Yeah, I mean, for aero setup perhaps and gears, it wouldn't work necessarily for Silverstone, but that sprint race would have hopefully shown him what he would need to change, and he'd be able to change it through this qualifying session as he puts himself 10th place. So that's pretty much qualifying over.
Well, there we go. Scott takes pole position for the feature race. So 15 laps around here. Do we reckon he can take this forward and maybe take a maiden win?
Possibly. Interestingly as well, the top three managed to get 2 laps in, whereas everybody else, it was only the 1 lap. So that's kind of what I was on about earlier about sort of putting enough fuel in to go and do 2 or 3 laps. And just go out there and pound laps in, because you've got more chance of getting 2 or 3 laps out of your qualifying session. But yeah, for Scott McFall, what a result from qualifying, taking pole position. I would just be a little bit concerned that probably my driver of the season so far, and David Harp will hate me for this, is that he's got Jason behind him. And Jason would be my driver of the season so far, because this isn't, like I say, no offence to Dave the Harp, but Dave the Harp is a previous Project Cars champion in Front Row Racing. We know he's capable of doing it on Project Cars. So seeing him winning the races he has done this season, I wouldn't say it's come as a surprise, but I'm very, very pleased for him. Jason, however, I think has just raised his game to another level.
Yep. Also, to third that, I think my driver of the season so far would be Ielto, just for the pure fact is he came in as a reserve and he's already won, I think, at Bathurst, and that was a feature race at Bathurst and the feature race at Laguna Seca. So he's got pure quality in him. Not maybe the fastest driver on a qualifying session, but in terms of consistency, he's got that in abundance.
Yeah, he's definitely improved. And I mean, having said that, I mean, Scott McFall, Stig v Rob, they've been improving as well throughout the course of the season. Unfortunately for the likes of Adam 4600, his improvements have he's been hit by so much bad luck, it's unbelievable. But I know I was talking to Adam 4600 a couple of weeks ago, and we were reminiscing from the good old days of the Ginetta Juniors, and he was saying about how much he loved those cars. Horribly slow, but gave some fantastic racing, and he really did like those cars.
Yeah. Memories of back in the day, even though they seem far away. We're only talking, this game's only been on shelves, I think, about 2 years now.
Yeah, 2015, I believe it came out.
It's definitely, it's got its little bugs and little nightmares, like, such as cameras and random moments, as we all know. Yeah. However, it's also got probably one of the best handling systems for wheel users on the market currently, along with Assetto Corsa. For
consoles, yes, definitely, I'd agree with you on that. Once you start going into PCs, it's a whole different ball game. But yeah, I mean the handling physics on Project Cars is very, very good, and obviously we both know pad users that have got themselves a wheel, and it's like, right, okay, chuck Project Cars on, because it's an eye opener for them. Always Nightwalker has a little bit of a spin, unfortunately for him. It's an eye opener for them. I would say probably one of the things that perhaps put me off in the early days on Project Cars. I mean, obviously there was the bugs and the problems. Every game has those. I think for me it was the needing a different wheel settings for each individual car. That was an absolute nightmare. And I know when I didn't have internet for a weekend, I actually put together videos of each individual car's setups for the wheel, and it took me, I don't know, it must have been 4 or 5 hours a day for 3 days to input all of the setting data and record it, and it was an absolute nightmare. And as you know, James, like, if you happen to change your PSN name, you want to change your profile or create a new profile or whatever, you've got to input it all again.
One of the key things that's made it a touch easier, though, is I believe there is a very, very handy website out there where you can literally type in Project Cars force feedback settings, and it gives you exactly what you need for the best performance for each car. So lots has changed, but in them early days of Project Cars coming out, it was pretty much good luck.
Do you want to know the most painful thing about it as well? If you're a PC user, you can go on the website, you can download all of the information, and you can just apply it straight to your game, and it'll do it all for you. It takes 10 seconds. On the console, you've got to go click, 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 on however many cars it is, 30 cars. So yeah, it takes a while. Okay, so warm-up session is just about over. We've managed to waffle about cars and racing, James, instead of what's happening in space or on Star Wars.
But I can't believe it. Well, we have had a bit of heat stroke chat, but...
Well, yeah, that is true. That is true. Okay, so 10 seconds then until the feature race is underway, and unsurprisingly, Dave the Harp showing that he's got some pace. GBM Oldman also showing he's got some power, barely a tenth, or not even a tenth behind Dave the Harp, but we're ready now for the start of the race. James, if you want to take us through it.
Yeah, so here we go. Lights are coming on. Once them lights go out, away they go, the greens will go, and down at the front, let's get there. Turn 1, it looks to me like Dave the Harp's down at the back, and yeah, a lot of drivers going wide in turn 1. Oh, Jason's off along with Kaluka too.
I think Dover 440 was the car that first ended up going off, and maybe his return caused a problem further behind.
Dave the Harp has got the worst start ever. He's gone wide, been forced off the circuit, and then he's just cut the corner, which gives him a power boost, and he's down at the back still.
Oh, painful for Dave the Harp then. I was having a quick look at Dre. He's under attack from Stig v Rob as they make their way up towards Brooklands.
Jason's just absolutely slam dunked his way past Oldman and into the back of ILTEL, and he's lost out there, but that was very lucky for Jason. It's all kicking off in front of him. All cars are getting slap bang wall up, and he's down to 7th currently. Oldman seems to have got away with this, but we're going to go 3 wide down the old pit straight.
Get ready for the noises, folks.
If I were Jason, I'd back out of this, and they look like they're going wide, and away they go. So Jason now took 2 places just from being cautious, which is what I would have done. So now he's got Adam 4600 right in front of him.
Would you have done? Would you have gone cautious? I remember something happening. Oh, cars off all over the place there.
So yeah, very, very aggressive start from Jason.
Oh, so nearly spun the car. He's still in control, but now it's 3 wide behind him.
This is Dre Kaluka. Oh, Sig's off on the left-hand side, and RGJ's getting in on this. This is going mental.
And up the inside, I'm not sure who that was who tried chucking it up the inside. It didn't work for him because he lost 4 positions. And now Eltal under attack.
Yeah, this is too crazy for my likings. Everybody's taking a sniff at every single corner. And have we lost somebody? No, we haven't. Sorry, apologies for that.
It's just so mental at the moment. Dave the Harp's in on this battle as well. So Dan in 9th place at the moment.
RDJ.
Oh, he's been nudged off into the gravel.
That was poor driving there from RDJ, just closing off a driver, which was Dave the Harp at the apex of turn 1. So that is pretty shocking driving there.
And in the background, who was that?
There's definitely going to be some choice words in the championship leader's helmet as he's just gone mental on Nightwalker.
Well, I think Dave was trying to get turned in there, but unfortunately with these cars, once they do make a little bit of contact, they end up making a lot of contact. But I'd be tempted to agree with you, James. It's all a little bit too sort of... I see a space, I'm going for it now. It doesn't matter what's happening, I'm taking it anyway. Oh no, I've hit the guy. Oh no, I'm at the back of the grid now. That kind of mentality at the moment.
Yeah, the drivers just need to calm themselves down because they're doing themselves no favours currently. We are all for aggressive driving, but aggressive driving that's then impacting other people's racing, that is pretty shocking.
2 wide. Don't make it 3 wide. It won't work. Oh! That actually wasn't too bad. The car in the middle had to lift off to not hit the car ahead of him, and the car behind tried to avoid him. Not quite happening though. But Magnus and Beckett, you don't really want to go side by side through there. It can be done, but it's just going to cost you a ton load of time. But yeah,
Eltal's gone wide, and RDJ's got a nice little run on him here down the hangar straight. I think
he has got a nice little run on him. Is he going to be able to do anything?
Sorry,
go for it.
Just to cut you off. Scott up at the front in P1 has just been overtaken by Altman into the final few corners. And Scott looks like he may have had a problem there, and Altman now leads the race.
Yeah, Scott must have had a problem because he was a good 2 or 3 seconds up the road, but now he isn't. He's down in second place.
It looks like Dre's having a little look at Dave the Art. No, Dave's made his way through past through Dre. And now, as I put my tongue back in, Kutu looks like he's the next victim on the agenda.
Could be a good choice of words, that. Victim. I tell you, it is frantic though. So 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th.
Kutu in P8 now, just jumped up the inside of RDJ, and RDJ turned back on him, and that's just given Dave a position now, I believe.
Okay, just to let you know, James, there's quite a gap between sort of 4th and 5th at the moment, and it looks like Oldman is opening up the gap up at the front as well. Eltel's got a little bit of a gap to RDJ now, but Dave the Harp, who's made a move, is up to 9th. Oh, not anymore, he's not, because who was that?
Kutu, I think.
Yeah, it was Kulakutu going for a very late move there, and it hasn't worked for him. It's lost himself, well, it's not lost himself a position, but he's not gained anything either.
RDJ just seems to be forcing people off the circuit when he needs to be giving space. If somebody's up your inside, you give space, you do not squeeze them off.
Yep, it's just like if you're on the inside, you'd expect the person on the outside not to just go for the apex of the corner. That battle's still continuing though, and a battle right behind them as well. And I think that might be Nightwalker trying to apply some pressure. Oh, RDJ took so much curb there, he nearly ended up in orbit.
Yeah, he's very, very aggressive, and perhaps beyond aggressive, as Nightwalker looks like he's got a nice little run now. Nightwalker has a little bit of a run on Dre, I think. Okay, RDJ's not going for a move into Stowe on this occasion. I'm going to have a quick... Oh, we've got somebody in the pits. Who was that in the pits? Dover 440. Yeah. So at the front, it looks like Oldman's just pulled out a couple of seconds over Scott. Vectra's about 2 seconds behind, but he can see them. Adam's only a second behind Vectra in P4. Jason's currently about 3 seconds behind Adam. Behind Adam in P5. ILTEL looks like he's falling back into the clutches of Day the Art now.
Well, one of the main targets for Jason will be to finish ahead of Dave the Harp. That's what he needs to do. It doesn't matter what position it is, he just needs to finish ahead of him. Dre looked like he were all out of shape and just slapped into the side of Nightwalker, and now Stig V Rob's having a little bit of a look up the inside. And who's come out right behind them but Dover 440 after making his pit stop, and pitting his... Oh, this is going to get interesting. Oh, that was a touch rude there from Dre, squeezing Nightwalker onto the grass, and that just allowed Dover up the inside, and he's up into P11 straight out of the box. Well, I was going to say, Dover, pitting as early as he did, what, 3rd lap? That's either he's got damage and he needed to pit, or he didn't have the fuel on board, or he went for the softest compound tyre and they haven't lasted. Well, just to let you know now, I feel like we've been at this race for at least 10 minutes, but we're only coming towards the end of lap 4. Yep, Dover 440 is trying to have a look at Stig v Rob here, and it does look like Dover 440 has got some pace about him. Oh, as he clips the sausage curb as well, manages to just about keep control of the car. Dave in P7 looks like he's going for a move on ILTEL down the hanger straight. Is this going to be P6 for Dave? Very similar livery, but Dave is on the inside of the apex, and he's just made the move. And what I like... Well, I was about to say something, but I'm not going to, as they go side by side into the final corners. Let's see how they get on through here, side by side. Eltel's got the inside line, but Dave will be able to get on the power earlier and harder. Eltel's going to be compromised here. He may have to lift. Manages to stay ahead. What a move there from my Eltel to keep position, but Dave will be foaming. I'm going to commentators curse this now. That's the difference between drivers that are giving room to their competitors and compared to those who aren't. Side by side through a number of corners without even a hint of contact. Bad news for Dover. He's back in the pit lane. Stig v Rob is in the pits along with Nightwalker. So the back markers, the people driving at the back of the grid are pitting.
looks like they're running out of tyres, probably because they're being so aggressive in the opening few laps.
Well, somebody that's going to be running out of space is GBM Vectra, because he's now being harassed by Adam 4600, who wants to take that third place off him. Jason is still there in the background as well, trying to close that gap in. And if these guys begin to battle, that gap will come down quickly. And Jason, he'll be aware that there's a battle going on behind him, and that it involves Dave the Harp, I'm sure.
Yeah, apologies, just to let the viewers know, Dave the Harp has made that move on ILTEL and is now up to P6.
So, nicely done by Dave the Harp. Let's see, I mean, okay, James, if these guys are going to be making a one-stop race, when are we looking at them pitting? Lap 7, lap 8?
Yeah, around lap 7, I expect the front runners to be pitting, but it looks like Adam 4600 is really starting to harass Vectra's. Vectra's rears look to be going now.
Okay, I'm just having a quick look at the battle between Dre and Nightwalker. Looks like whether it's been clean or tidy, I don't know, but they're going at it, and that's what I like to see. I mean, I do like to see drivers going for it. As you mentioned earlier, yeah, be aggressive, but be safely aggressive. That's the only thing I'd say.
Vectra's now really under pressure through turn 1. Adam is literally almost touching the back end of Vectra's car for P3.
Oh, Vectra going defensive. Adam really opened up the corner. That's going to give him the opportunity. Is he going to go for a switchback? It looks like that's what he's lining himself up for.
He's just wanting to get better traction and get on the power earlier, which is what he needed to do. But I think Vectra managed to do exactly the same. Even though it was a more acute angle, he was able to just pivot the car a little bit more. So that's managed to keep him ahead. But it looks to me like he's got less grip than Adam overall.
Yeah, Adam, actually, I'm not going to say what I was going to say because, yeah, I don't want to commentators curse anybody. Unless I feel like picking on somebody. Oh, Adam, he's got a good run here. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Vectra's got a little bit out of shape as well. Is he defending? What's he doing? Yeah, he's going defensive. Adam, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay on the racing line, do the up and under?
Yeah, he's going for the up and under. A little ease off before the corner and try and get the best exit. He's got a run on him now, side by side. Can he get the corner into Magnus and Beckett's? He is ahead just, and he does make the move, and he catches the sausage curve. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. Chuck a bit of bacon in that bun because he's taking that sausage all day long. That
takes kahunas of steel, that does. Yeah, now his next target is Adam, but he's miles down the road, and Alderman is also pulling out a fairly healthy gap out in front.
You can tell it's Sunday. Adam's next target is Adam. It's not. Adam's next target is Scott. Have you noticed how we don't pick all? Vectra into the pits.
Right, so maybe he's going for a 2-stop. I think it'd be a very early 1-stop.
Yes, I mean, well, 1-stop, you'd have to hope he's been using a softer compound tyre, and now he's going to be on a hard compound tyre.
Sigby Rob in the wall. Looks like he's completely lost it through the old turn 1. Yeah, rejoining the circuit as Dre just bombs past him, and here comes Nightwalker.
Oh, Nightwalker carrying so much more speed into Magnus and Beckett's. Can he hold on to it through the corners?
No.
Yes!
Oh, he looked completely out of control there. I'm surprised he managed to catch that.
Well, catch it he did. Dover 440. He must have had another problem or another pit stop. Down to 13th he now goes. Let's try and have a catch up of what's happened up at the front.
Yeah, Vectra's just pitted and come out in front of Jason. Now, do we know if Jason's pitted? I'm not too sure.
Let me have... Yes, Jason has pitted. Because either that or Jason's had a major problem that's cost him pretty much... No, he must have pitted. I mean, he may have had a problem, but I think he's pitted. He's got a bit of an undercut on Vectra. This is a battle for position. This could potentially be a battle for third place, because if Jason's had a little bit of an undercut on Vectra, Vectra's going to get a little bit of an undercut on Adam 4600, and Adam 4600 is in third place.
Yeah, so it looks like it's kicking off, and Jason needs to take as many points away from Dave the Harp as possible, and Dave's currently not stopped and he's running in P4.
Yep. So, plenty to still fight for here at Silverstone. Jason giving it everything he's got.
Yeah, Jason's got a lovely line there. and just needs to make sure he keeps it all neat and tidy and don't push too much now through Maggots and Beckett's. Needs to make sure that the back end is doing exactly what he wants it to do, but it looks like he's got a touch of understeer. But Vectra looks to have a really poor exit there.
Oh, he's just clipped the grass as well, and that's going to give Jason a little bit of an advantage, but Vectra's straight line speed is looking fairly damn handy. Can I have a quick look up at the lead? Oldman, go on.
Yeah, Dave's just pitted now.
Okay, that's what I was having a quick look at. Let's see, Jason and Vectra. Close, but
Very,
no moves
close.
going on yet. Now, Dave should come out quite a way behind these two, I believe.
Yep. So there's Dave and who else is in the pit lane? Let me see. ILTEL's also in the pits.
So, where was Eltel? He must have been...
He was just behind Dave, I believe.
Okay. So
Jason really having a look now.
He is, isn't he? Oh, but I mean, if you remember, I said to Jason a few races ago, I said he had a race where he really sort of got his elbows out, got a little bit aggressive, and I liked it. And I did say to him, keep doing it, carry on, and he has been trying to do exactly that.
Here we go, he's got a lovely bit of slipstream. He's trying to put him off in the mirrors, and I think he's took the bait and he's gone wide. This is Jason's opportunity. Can he go a bit deep here and try and get on the power a little bit earlier, get the wider loop but more acute, slightly on the gravel, but he's got a nice run now down the old hanger straight.
Now, is he going to be able to do what Adam 4600 did earlier on? A little lift, take a sort of switchback move, but I don't think he's close enough. No, he's not.
No, Vectra just seems to have the traction in all the right places, and Jason just seems to have so much more grip. If only he'd pit and try and do an undercut. I think he may do later on if he's doing a two-stop.
Yeah, if he's doing a two-stop, I do think he would. Okay, leaders into the pits.
Yeah, all three of them are all in the pit lane now.
And look how close Adam 4600 is to Scott McFall. There's a car length between them.
So the main thing for me is, has Vectra done an undercut on any of these?
I don't think so. Oldman's on his way. Scott McFall will be soon.
Oh, sorry. It looks to me like as if Oldman's just been jumped, but I think that may be a driver who's not put the correct tyres on. That's Adam 4600.
I'm not so sure. Scott McFall still stationary in the pit lane. GBM Vectra, Jason, they're about to gain a place on Scott McFall. Yes, they are. Scott is only just now exiting the pits. It's going to be close, actually. Side by side they go, but Jason and GBM Vectra are ahead. Change camera for me, please, you dodgy game. Told you the camera, they do my head in.
So they did jump Scott there. Scott will be foaming, but he'll have superior grip over Jason and Vectra, but I think Adam 4600's pitted, and I think it hasn't changed his tyres.
Well, I did see him stop. Jason, he's got a good run on GBM Vectra, hoping that Vectra goes wide again, and he isn't doing. But I think Scott McFall has had one hell of a long pit stop there, because he was way ahead of these two guys that are battling at the moment. And on entry to the pits, Adam 4600 was right up his gearbox, and Adam 4600 is close to Oldman. But
Jason looks like he's maybe having a little bit of a sniff now.
Okay, cameras are on there. I do think, though, I think Oldman and Adam 4600 may have had a normal pit stop, and Scott McFall has just had a really bad one.
Possibly, quite possibly. And Jason now, he just needs to keep it all calm, cool and collected, and nail this apex, get on the power. But I think Vectra's done the same. He just... Every time he wants to put Vectra off, Vectra keeps just absolutely keeping his head in all the right places. And Scott, he needs to be pouncing on these straight away, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if he has had a problem in his pit stop, though...
Adam.
Oh, Jason going for the move up the inside into Club Corner. It's not quite working. It might not be Club Corner. I've not checked my track map.
So yeah, I was right. Adam has not fitted the correct tyres, and he's back in the pit lane, so he's going to promote Vectra and Jason to P2 and 3.
That's devastating for Adam 4600 then. Jason's got another good run though on GBM Vectra. He's going to definitely go for the move. Here we go, up the inside again, late on the brakes. He is ahead, but can he stay ahead as he's now going to have a tighter inside line?
I think Scott's just going to pick the two of them off here as they start squabbling.
Oh, Vectra! Oh, I thought he was losing the rear end then, and he was a little bit. He's now under pressure from Scott McFall, as you said.
So yeah, it's got Vectra out of position. Even if he brakes late, I think he'll be able to do the up and under. And yeah, Vectra is going braking late. No, Scott can hold it round the outside. I think there's a bit of superior grip. And Vectra, I just don't understand how he's on older tyres, but yet he seems to, in certain corners, just have so much grip.
He's got a good run to attack back on Scott here, though. Whether he's going to be able to make anything of it, I do not know. But all of this has just helped our GBM Oldman. Just wondering, James, if you can have a quick look down the grid, because I wouldn't be surprised if we got... oh, Scott goes a little bit wide on the exit of Cop's Corner. That's going to compromise him a little bit through Maggots and Beckett's, but I don't think GBM Vectra is close enough. Jason, though, he's already opening up this gap.
Yeah, so Adam 4600 with that double pit stop, he's ended up coming out of the pits behind Dave Harp in P6.
And only just ahead of Kulukutu and Eltel. RDJ 9th, Stigvy Rob 10th, Dover in 11th, Nightwalker coming out of the pits. And I think we may have lost Dre. No, we haven't. We've lost somebody else, unfortunately, out of the race.
Yeah, Vectra's trying to come back as Jason's back into the pit lane, so that's his second pit stop.
Yep, it is. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it, that Jason's on a two-stop strategy, and it seems like he's only just made a pit stop, but it was 7 laps ago. No, it'd be about 5 laps ago that he made his stop.
So Scott now back up to P2 where he was, I think, at the end of the 4th lap. Vectra in P3. Is he going to try and do a one-stop? But it was a very early pit stop if I think he's going to try and do that strategy.
Well, Vectra did pit 1 lap after Jason last time round, so he may pit at the end of this lap, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does try and keep going. Scott is now opening up that gap. I'll
will he get past Jason here? Yes, he will, so he's just jumped in front of Jason at the pit exit.
So Jason coming out into traffic then as Kulukutu and Eltel have a little bit of a dance through turn 3, and a little bit more of a dance. That's going to compromise them both. Jason's going to have a little bit of a run on them here. So yeah, Jason looking feisty, but Jason can't afford to be held up on this lap.
No, he's got to just pound straight away, and that's exactly what he's doing. Next up the road will be Kulukutu, and he needs to make sure that he makes light work of him.
Yeah, definitely. And the reason we say that is because if the likes of Vectra do have to pit again, anytime Jason loses now is a position lost, potentially.
Yeah. Oldman's going very, very slow. I think he may be just protecting these tyres and making sure they get to the very end.
What a move! Sorry, James, but Jason just went up the inside through Cop's Corner. I don't know if Kulukutu even knew that that was possible, but now he does. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, lovely driving there, and I didn't see it myself, but I'm pretty sure we've seen some spectacular moves from Jason, and if it were as spectacular as the opening at Road America, it was hopefully it was very nice indeed.
Well, let's put it this way, James. If you were a fan of Kulukutu, you'd have been crying like that little lad earlier today.
I am.
But interesting though, Dave the Harp's now sitting in 4th place, and whether he's going to have another pit stop to make or not, do not know. I've got a feeling some of these guys aren't going to be pitting again.
So Adam is just clobbered the curve through turn 1. Jason's just coming through turn 1 now. Jason needs to make sure that he takes as much time out of Vectra, because I don't think Vectra's going to have enough grip on them tyres along with Dave Harp to get to the end. If they do, I think they'll be sitting ducks.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but I mean, Jason did find that last week in Laguna Seca, although he was much faster on the newer tyres, there just wasn't enough laps for him to close the gap up. Although here, it could be, instead of like 2 or 3 seconds a lap faster, it could be 4 or 5.
Yeah, so just to let the viewers know as well, Vectra's managed to hang on to the coattails of Scott McFall in P2, but Scott McFall has pitted more recently, and Vectra's tyres are really dying now, along with Dave Hart. They're currently going 2 seconds a lap slower than Scott and Oldman. Jason is currently going about 3 seconds quicker than both Dave Hart and Vectra, so Jason is on the move.
Okay, I think that GBM Oldman is going to the end. Scott McFall, I thought he was going for the pits. The McFlurry sold a dummy, and I don't like dummies. I prefer a flake in my McFlurry. But it did look like he was going for the pit lane there. Oh, Vectra struggling.
Yeah, really struggling, and that is the time that is being lost as Jason is just heading down the hangar straight, and yeah, I think he'll be on them, but we've only got 3 laps remaining.
Well, you're talking about time that's being lost. Dave the Harp is catching up to GBM Vectra.
So that's... Oh, he's lost it though! Through turn... Oh, he's managed to catch it. How he saved that, I do not know. The back end just completely went, and he went complete opposite lock, so maybe that was a bit of a wake-up call for maybe don't push these tyres as hard as you are doing.
Was that GBM Vectra then, or was that Dave the Harp?
That was Dave the Harp catching Vectra, lost it through turn 1.
Oh, okay. I just jumped off board with him as well, because Dave the Harp's kind of got to be careful, because I think Adam 4600 is catching him up as well. How far behind is Jason? A few seconds behind. I don't think Jason's going to have enough laps to be able to make this work for him, unfortunately.
Yeah. It looks to me as though time is on Vectra and Dave's side, but yeah, as you say, Dave is closing in now on Vectra. He just needs to make sure he doesn't make any more mistakes.
Well, I do know further down the field we've had some interesting battles, and RDJ pitted a little while ago. Kulakutu just made another pit stop as well. Comes out in 8th place. RDJ too far behind, a good 10-12 seconds behind. Stig v Rob not too far away from RDJ though, but getting all over the curbs. Wants to be careful about doing that. Nightwalker, he is ahead of Dover. I think Nightwalker's got one of the leading cars behind him, but Nightwalker having a good race, and Dre also recently pitted as well, and I think Dre may be just ahead of possibly Adam 4600 on track.
So yeah, Vectra currently about 1.5 seconds in front of Dave. 2 laps remaining.
So, not long now, not long at all. I mean, James, you said a few laps ago that it looked like GBM Oldman was sort of going slow and looking after his tyres, perhaps. It's Nightwalker that he's got ahead of him. That's blue flag traffic, but Nightwalker doesn't have to go and get out of the way. There are no blue flags in Front Row Racing's DTMs. But for GBM Oldman, do you reckon it's just been a case of, right, I've got a gap, look after these tyres, cruise it to the end, do a one-stop, easy, job done?
Yeah, I think he's done a classic Red Bull Sebastian Vettel job, as Dave the Harp is now all over the back of Vectra. I think Vectra's grip has completely gone on them rears, and yeah, here's his opportunity, I think.
Oh, it's close.
Up the inside, is he going to go for it? But I think Vectra's out of shape.
Well, I know I'm out of shape. That's why I'm so full up on a Sunday.
So Vectra there completely lost the grip, and Adam is not far behind, so he could snatch positions here with 1.5 laps to go. Oh, he just had a twitch though.
So yeah, Adam 4600 is now the car directly behind GBM Vectra, and Adam can see him, so Adam can see the target that is ahead of him. GBM Vectra is wide again at Cops. Yeah, his tyres are going, aren't they?
Yeah, they are really going. I think Adam may be able to snatch at least P4 here.
So, how far behind is Jason? He's catching still, but yeah, he's definitely way too far behind us. I think Nightwalker drifting through Maggots and Beckett's.
Vectra's tyres have completely gone, and here comes Adam.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at how much time he's lost in Cobb's corner. I mean, Maggots and Beckett's, they're tough corners on tyres, but if your tyres are already hurting, they're just going to kill your lap times.
Yeah, oh, he's defending fresh air there. Now he's hugging the inside line. Adam's got so much grip, I think he's just deciding which side to go to. But there is the podium place in front of him. You can see it, Dave the Harp, not too far away. He just needs to make sure he gets past him as cleanly and as quick as possible. And here we go.
Up the inside, beautiful move, and in the background Jason's catching up these guys as well. Yeah, Vectra's tyres are absolutely shot. Jason, he's on the back of Nightwalker. Both of these guys are catching up to GBM Vectra. Jason will want to get past Nightwalker as quick as he can, but I think he'll find that Vectra's going to be a bit of a sitting duck anyway. Jason making a lovely move through turn 2. He's been making lovely moves all day long. Vectra's off
circuit.
Yep, his tyres are so dead he can't even get the car slowed down, so that's now 5th place for Jason, and he can see Adam 4600 right ahead of him, but we're on to the last lap of the race already.
Yeah, so Oldman's just gone past the old start-finish straight. He's just got Maggots and Beckett's to go, and Dave the Harp, can he hold on to P3? This will be some valuable points to take over Jason in the title.
Is Eltel close enough to Vectra to catch him and take that position off him as well?
Possibly, quite possibly, but I think Adam 4600 maybe within striking distance of Dave. I think he'll need a mistake though from Dave.
Okay, GBM Oldman heading into Stowe corner now. He's only got 3 corners to go, and he's going to take the victory here in the Front Row Racing ProjectCARS DTMs at Silverstone. What a race for him. The podium interviews will be very interesting for him. James, your thoughts for him as he's about to cross the line?
I'm not too sure that this podium battle is over. Adam 4600, look at the grip he's got. He's coming through in P4, and Davey's all out of shape. I think Adam may be able to get onto the podium here.
Okay, quick mention, Scott McFarley is going to take 2nd place. We're going to have to focus on this battle for 3rd place at the moment. Adam 4600, he's carrying so much more speed. He's going to have a go
He's
on the inside, and he makes the move.
What a move! What a move there. Dave will be foaming on the final lap.
And look who's right behind as well. Dave's trying to fight back though around the outside. Jason goes a little bit deep. Adam 4600, he's going to have to cover this off. And he's trying to cover it off. Yes, it is. He's got the move done. It's 3rd place for Adam 4600. Dave the Harp's running a little bit wide. He is going to finish just ahead though of Jason, who takes 5th place. Let's see. GBM Vectra, he's managed to survive. It looks like it's going to be a 6th place finish for him. Devastation for him and absolute joy for Adam 4600. Stealing that pole position, that podium position. My apologies, Eltel. I think he may be a little bit frustrated with the result here. However, I do know that from the Porsche race around the shorter Silverstone circuit, he is not a fan of Silverstone. So that could be why he's not had the best of races here today. But it is a 7th place finish for Eltel. I don't know if it's a battle we've still got going on a little down the grid, or whether it's back markers and Finnish drivers, but Kulu Kutu crossing the line now, and it's going to be an 8th place finish for Kulu Kutu. Stig v Rob, is that a battle for position? Yes, it is. Stig v Rob and RDJ, they're still fighting it out, I think, for 9th place at the moment. RDJ is not going to make a dodgy move into the final few corners, is he? No, because Stig v Rob has covered it off beautifully. So it looks like it could be a 9th place finish for Stig v Rob. No, he's run wide. He's opened the door and through goes RDJ. Crosses the line to take the 9th place. Stig v Rob takes 10th place. And Front Row Racing JS has just left the chat party. He'll hopefully be able to rejoin me in a few moments' time. Obviously, he screamed a little bit too loud there. Nightwalker's going to cross the line to take 11th place. A fantastic result for him. Dover 440. I don't think he's had the best of races as Dover 440. I'm sure we'll find out what happened to him at some point. As one of his many fans on the YouTube channel, perhaps give us a little bit of information. So yeah, across the line Dover 440 goes to take 12th place, and then 13th place, not too far behind him actually, was quick on those tyres, fresher tyres at the end. Dre crosses the line to take 13th place, and James, obviously your microphone couldn't handle you getting so excited at that finish between RDJ and Stig v Rob just then.
Yeah, it just came up saying network error, so it cannot handle the screams tonight. But yeah, action from start to finish. You said to me, "Oh, it's Sunday, let's relax." There's no time to relax in these DTMs. No. There is absolutely none.
No, you're not wrong there. You are not wrong. But what a race we've had today, as you said. I mean, GBM Oldman, I reckon he's going to be calm, relaxed on that podium interview, you know, because he's just going to be sat there, yeah, no sweat. Scott McFall, I've got a feeling he may be kicking himself a little bit. We'll find out what happened with his pit stop that seemed to be very, very long. And Adam 4600. I said earlier on in the broadcast I didn't want a commentators curse him, and I didn't. What a way to end that lap, taking the third position on the podium. Absolutely fantastic. And as James realises that he can't send invites to the drivers,
I've just suggested,
Yep, I will send invites to those 3 drivers to get them in for the podium chat. And if any of the viewers do have any questions that they would like us to ask the podium sitters on your behalf, feel free to post them on the YouTube chat. Just quickly to answer a question from Drew saying, so will FRR be doing random fun games for Fun Friday? No, the Friday events, it is actually a rough GT3 car in use on a bit of a mini league at the moment, which people are welcome to join. It is kind of the feeder series for the DTMs. You do well in there, get talent spotted, and the opportunity becomes available to be a reserve driver. However, I spotted that we've had at least 1 or 2 of our podium sitters join us. Have we got all 3 of them, James?
We've got P1 and 2. We're just waiting on Adam 4600 for P3, which he snatched on the last lap, and that is twice in a row now. Dave the Harp has been in a podium position on the final lap, both at Laguna Seca and Silverstone, and he's been snatched in the final lap. So I think these drivers are really saying, you know what, you may be the title leader, but have a bit of that.
So send a message to Dave the Arp, said hope you're good at playing that harp, mate, because I think tonight you need some consolation music. But anyway, we'll get on to the podium interviews. GBM Oldman, manic, frantic race here in Silverstone, but not for you. Interesting battle with yourself and Scott McFall. Managed to take the lead. I can't remember the overtake, so apologies for that. I'm sure you'll tell us about it. But looked fairly comfortable. And that's the only question I'll ask you, and then we'll go to James. So, was it comfortable out there? No sweat?
It was hard work. The tyres were terrible. Riding round on the last, from a lap 5 to a lap 7 or 8, there was no front left at all. So it was just basically keeping it on the track and hoping for the best. But yes, it was like parting of the waves. I was so lucky. Started off and everybody was having accidents in front of me, and gaps just opened up, and I just carried on through it.
I know I said I'd be the only question. I just want to add one more. You didn't qualify, did you? You finished on the podium in the sprint race?
Correct, yes.
Correct. So you've gone from the back of the grid, parting of the waves, La Moses, winner.
Correct.
Nice one. Okay, James, over to you for questions for GBM Oldman.
Well, Oldman, I think we've seen you a race winner in, I'm trying to remember which round it was, previous race winner.
I love that. Proper commentary job that is. I'm not taking the piss for that either. I can't remember, previous race winner, good, nice one.
Also, all I want to say is we've got 2 rounds remaining. Is your thoughts of the title completely gone now?
I've got no chance on that. I just love the racing. It's brilliant. But Dave's been pulling out such a good lead, and Jason following him as well.
And do you think as well there's no chance of winning the final 4 races and possibly snatching P2 in the championship from Adam 4600?
If this is if it's as hard as this, no thanks. I'm sweating like a dog at the minute. It's terrible. It's hard work, but it's fun. It's fun. I've got no chance.
Well, that's strong words coming from the man who's just won the feature race. He's got no chance. DP, any other questions?
Yeah, I have. Okay. Interestingly enough, you said there, Oldman, that obviously you got no chance of winning the title. Unfortunately, Dave's too far ahead of yourself. You'll have your own battles. But does that give you a bit more of a freedom now, a bit more of a relaxed approach to the race? There isn't any pressure on you, and could that be why the driving seems to have improved a little bit, and the race winners come along?
Well, I've got nothing to really play for except trying to catch Jason up a bit. But with any luck, I might catch him and get second. So we're just going to keep pushing.
Okay, a couple more questions for you. Last week, Laguna Seca, unfortunately, you were done by a driver on a one-stop strategy, as was Jason. It was a one-stop strategy for you today when Jason did a two-stop and I think others did as well. Was your strategy cemented this week, sort of Monday, last Monday, so right, I'm not doing a two-stop when a one-stop might be possible?
It might have been possible. We checked through the week, see how many laps I could get out the tyres. I played with the setup and got an extra lap out the tyres, which helped. So we just went from there, and everybody seemed to be pitting around me, and I was praying that I could stay on the track, which I did.
Yeah, you did. When you did make your pit stop, it looked like Scott had a very long pit stop, and hopefully we'll find out more about that in a moment. But somebody else had a really quick pit stop, so were you bricking it a little bit when you come out of the pits and all of a sudden there's an Adam 4600 in a raging Merc right up your gearbox for a lap?
I couldn't understand what happened there, because he was way behind, and all of a sudden he's on top of me, and I thought, oh, I don't know what's going on. As I pulled out the pits and got round 2 or 3 corners, he was like 2.5 seconds behind me. So whether he hadn't changed his tyres or something, I don't know.
Well, we will find out. Very well done, GBM Oldman. Don't run away just yet. We may have more questions for you. But, yeah, fantastic job. Cracking drive. Well done. We're going to move on to Mr. McFlurry now. Scott McFall. Scott, I hope you're with us. I hope you're well. If I remember rightly, I asked you last time out, pleased with the result, not pleased with the result, and I think you were pleased with the result. This time, though, I've got a little bit of a feeling you might not be as happy.
More so in the sprint race, to be honest. Main race, happy at that, but I think it got let down a wee bit in the sprint race. That wee instant where it spun off the track and it just cost me everything. I was catching people, but there just wasn't enough laps to catch them.
Unfortunate. Okay, main couple of questions from myself. You were leading, I think you were leading the race at the start until GBM Oldman decided to turn his engine up a little bit. Pit stop, what happened? Because it looked like a really long stop.
I've, to be honest, no idea. I can only think that I never registered for the pit before I went in. But other than that, it just everything was set, ready to go, and it just delayed me.
Oh dear. When that happened, did you think any chance of a win or possibly even the podium was gone?
I thought the win was out the window. Anyway, we had a practice session with GDM Oldman earlier on, and times were just differences apart. But I thought it was close anyway. I didn't think the podium was going to be out of sight. The tyres were quite well set and they were holding out quite good for me on the track. So.
Yeah. Well, when you came back onto the track after your pit stop, you came out in a little bit of a traffic, if I remember rightly. It looked a little bit mental for a couple of laps until they made a few pit stops around you.
The Vector, that's right, sorry, I forgot about that there. I was just hoping that they still had another pit stop to go, to be honest, at that point. And it planned out for one of the cars went in, and I think it was Vector stayed out to take a chance at it, but the grip with the hard tyres after the pit stop just kept me going.
Yeah, well done. James, feel free to, I would say grill the McFlurry, but it'd melt a bit quick, so be gentle with him.
I will. Well, I don't think I have to be gentle. What an absolutely brilliant qualifying lap. All I got to say is, what were your feelings when you took pole position?
I was delighted to see it going to pole. I thought I might have been in the mix for like the top 3-4 maybe, but when I seen it go to the pole, I was happy. It also done a favour of the sprint race with the top 3 drivers not being able to get out of the qualifying lap in. So. And
all I want to say is as well, I don't think we managed to catch it on the broadcast, but was there an issue with the power boost or anything like that, or was Oldman just clearly quicker? And I don't think we managed to spot it on the broadcast, that were all.
Yeah. Credit where credit's due. He's set up to come through it, and he's definitely quicker.
Right. So just a clean overtake then.
I would have gone, if you didn't see it on the broadcast, I dipped a wheel on the gravel, that's why he called me up.
No, you've got to give credit when it's true. The setup and it was spot on for the track tonight, so it's a good win from him.
Well, very well done on the pole position and second place, Scott.
Yeah. So, moving on to Adam 4600 then. I'm not going to say how many questions I've got for him. I'm just going to say this. Adam, what the bloody hell happened at your pit stop? And wow, what a final lap!
Yeah, okay. The pit stop. So I hit the maximum the limit of pit stops a few days ago. So I thought, all right, delete one, make a new one for this car. I forgot to set it to change tyres. So did it for like 8 seconds, rolled out in front of Oldman, and I swore for a minute. Solid.
I thought you would be.
Hang on. Was it one long swear word, or was it lots of them in a minute?
Oh, you're gonna have to use your imagination on that one. It's just as many as I could think of 3 times over.
Yeah.
I'm fuming, but yeah, got back in. What was the other one? The final lap. Well, yeah. Jarson did 2, so he was barreling up behind me. I saw him coming on the last lap. I had no idea how he was doing that. And then saw I was getting on Dave, especially through kind of Maggots Beckett. So like, his tyres have gone off. Managed to get the move on the exit of whatever the hell that corner's called, and did the slowest final section you have ever seen in an effort not to spin because the tyres were gone. Because I was so angry from the failed pit stop, I burned them all up during the first few laps. So I had no tyres at the end.
Well, it was a great final lap. We also saw you do an absolutely beautiful overtake. James, you'll remember it. Going sort of setting it up in Brooklands. I think it was on GBM Vectra. Setting it up in Brooklands, going through Woodcote, right up his gearbox, and then you get to the old first corner. It looked like a little bit of a lift off and a switch up the inside to get you onto the outside into the first corner into Maggots and Beck. It's a beautiful, well worked overtake. I mean, me and James were going mental in the commentary box about it. From the driver's point of view, what was it like making that kind of move?
That was a very cool move. I was very happy with it. It was just a case of I had to brake a little bit early for the older first corner because the exit was going to be so key if I wanted to get it done. And I just praying I've got the drive because I don't want to go side by side into Maggots and Beckett. No one does that. That's not going to end well for either of us. And it was such a relief to get the move done because I've been gaining. And yeah, it was a really cool move. I was really happy with it.
Well done. James, over to you.
Well, Adam, all I've got to say is thanks for making that final lap an absolute cracker. I think Dave was more focused on the race winner of Oldman coming around the final corner, and I was screaming like mad saying, I think Adam's got the grip here to just do Dave on the final lap. And then just, yeah, what an absolutely brilliant final lap. You want to just talk us through it, whether you thought it were on?
I didn't think it was on at first. Coming to the start of the lap, I thought, all right, I think I was P4 because I just got past Vectra on really old tyres. Vectra? Yes. I thought, all right, this isn't on whatever fourth, I can live with that. I was still fuming about the pit stop, actually. And then I was gaining. I was like, his tyres might have gone, So I'm pushing like hell. The best run out of Maggots and Beckett I've ever got in these cars in my life. I really got the final sector right for the first time ever. Just gaining, DRS, focus on the exit of whatever the hell that corner's called. And then just park it in such a way that he can't get through because I know his tyres are gone, so he can't do any rash moves or anything. And park it and don't spin and don't do anything stupid, basically, and breathe. And that has done my heart rate no good at all. Jesus Christ.
Well, he'll have been probably watching because that were a cracking move. And yeah, all I've got to say is thanks for making that race an absolute cracker.
Yeah, I'll be watching that one back.
Yeah. When you watch it, well, I mean, I've got to say, well done to all of our podium sitters. I mean, GBM Oldman, a phenomenal drive from the back of the grid in the feature race to take the victory. Scott McFall, pole position, put up a great fight. Problems in the pit lane. A lot of drivers had problems in the pit lane today, unfortunately, with one driver, for unknown reasons, apparently telling it not to change the tyres twice. I think that's a mistake. It would make sure it doesn't make again. But yeah, I mean, exciting race from start to finish, and no matter how exciting each driver thinks their race was, hopefully they'll be able to see that it was exciting for pretty much every single one of them. Whether it was good exciting or bad exciting, that depends on the driver, but there was a lot going on in that race. Absolutely epic. I've only got sort of one more question to all of the podium sitters here, and James, you may be able to give us some information on this question, and that is, are you looking forward to the next round, and how do you think you'll do? James, location of the next round?
Oh, you put me on it now. Here we go. I should have been more prepared. Hang on. 1 second, I'm nearly there. Whoa. This is looking like a semi-decent one. Oh no.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my iPad's screwing up now.
Would you like me to give you the answer?
No, if you saw my iPad now, you would be laughing at me right now. Here we go. Oh, hang on, no, I've got it. Here we go. Tell you what, you go for it, 'cause my iPad's having a fit.
Okay. Obviously, maybe that was the iPad that was used to tell the pit engineers how to do their jobs today. Donington National, I believe it is, next week.
Yep.
I would need to check if the laps are right or not. It says 7 and 34 on...
7:34, that's correct.
Okay, so 7 laps for the sprint race, 34 laps for the feature race. A track that can punish tyres, but it's a track I love. So GBM Oldman, Scott McFall, Adam 4600 in that order. Is it a race you're looking forward to, and how do you think you're going to do?
It's going to be fun, this one. 34 laps. Blimey. Yes, we're going to have fun on this one. What's the tyre wear going to be on? That's the thing.
Exactly the same. Times 4 for the feature race, real for the sprint. Okay.
Right, we'll just have fun there, see what we can do through the week on setup. Get it right.
Okay. Scott
Chase Jason down.
Yeah, Chase. Hunt the Swedish banana man. Scott, what about yourself?
Looking forward to it. Interesting, not a track I've done much racing on, so we'll do a bit of practice hopefully midweek to get used to it. Wow. But definitely looking forward to it.
Good. And Adam 4600, could we see you up here on the podium again?
I think so. I think it'd be a good race. I do like the track. The tyre wear's going to be key for me. So, like Oldman says, work on it through the week. We'll see what happens.
That we definitely will. Okay, final well dones and thank yous to our podium sitters and to all of the drivers taking part today. I believe every driver that started the feature race did finish, so they'll all score points in that one. And what a fantastic job they've done at that. I mean, the race was absolutely mental at stages, but once it settled down a bit, there was some fantastic battles out there. James, thank you obviously for joining us on the commentary and doing the job of running the DTMs. Your final thoughts on the race and going forward to next week?
Well, I just think every single week Dave the Art gets closer and closer to that title, but people keep jumping in front of him in the feature race and taking them points away. But I think people need to do the double, do win. Maybe this is a tip for do a win in the sprint race and the feature race if you want to have your hands on that trophy. There's only 2 more rounds to go, and yeah, it's getting ever closer. I think Adam's in the room along with Dave the Arp, and Oldman's just sniffing round the doorway into the room where the trophy is.
He's not sniffing, he's just getting on a bit and he's out of breath.
Easy.
I'm only joking. What I will say is the fans have stayed in the grandstands today to listen to our podium sitters give their comments, so thank you very much to all of the viewers and the spectators. Make sure you if you want to, like and subscribe. Come and check us out on the Front Row Racing Facebook page. That's where the leagues are run. You can also see the F1 side of Front Row Racing as well. Don't forget, you can always check out the Front Row Racing Racing Project Cars community on PlayStation Network. Feel free to sign up to that one, and if you do want to get involved in Project Cars in Front Row Racing, then Friday night's events is the event to get involved in. Pop a message on the community page or on the Facebook page, or send a message direct to KSlay1, as he'll be he's running that at the moment and doing the talent spotting in there, and some of the talent that's been coming through have been very, very good. Dover 440, very good in the sprint race, unlucky in the feature race, but we'll see what he can do in the future. So thank you very much for watching. This has been Front Row Racing Project Cars DTM's round 6. You can join us next Sunday for round 7 from Donington Park. And don't forget as well, you can join us for the F1 2016 World Championship reserves on Wednesday, 7:25 p.m. and the World Series reserves on Thursday, again 7:25 p.m. for their round 17 from the almighty Suzuka circuit. So, James, final time to say goodbye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Take care, everybody.